Well, hello, my coloring weirdos. Welcome back to the channel. Color and chat time. Lunisoleil, obviously, and you guys. Are we going to play with blues today? Yes, we're going to play with blues today. And why is this such a momentous occasion that I'm playing with blue? If you've been with me, you know. Say it with me. What is my least favorite color? Ready? Say it with me. Blue. Disclaimer. Don't hate the color. Love blue skies. Clear blue waters. Lovely. Perfect. Delicious. But for some reason, the color blue just doesn't speak to me. And I guess technically, this is more of an aqua blue. Still, it's in the blue family. We're playing with cool colors today, okay? Greens, blues, that sort of situation. Why? Just in the mood. Is there an explanation? The explanation is c'est moi. I don't know why I do what I do. I simply do what I do. Where the hell is my coffee? Oh, right here. We've got coffee. We've got a trash can full of lemon water. Let's get started. We're just going to start with the hair because why not? And I should explain a little bit. I always assume that the people who are here are people who have been with me for a while. So if you are new here, first of all, hi, hello, welcome. Take a seat in the front so we can all judge you accordingly. We love fresh meat around here. But the reason that I am keeping my color and chats pretty brief is I'm in a place right now that has really horrific internet. And there's a couple reasons. The internet is horrible. It takes hours and hours and hours to upload one video, number one. And then number two, if you look at the numbers on my channel, audience retention is much better on shorter videos. So the vast majority of you prefer the shorter videos. So who am I to force 2-hour coloring videos on you people if nobody's watching them, right? So we're just going to keep it a little bit brief and just quick, easy breezy. And I will be filming in chunks as I have been doing recently. So it'll be like a 10-15 minute chunk here, do that a few times, upload the video. So even though I film in segments and then I go off camera and I complete a portion, before I leave, I try to show you guys what technique I'm going to be employing in the interim between the time the camera stops rolling to the time I come back, having worked on the page a little bit more. So sometimes I skip out a little bit, but I will be doing my best today to just show you when I disappear what I'm going to be doing for those of you who want a little bit more guidance. But I tell you all, you're free to copy my techniques. Obviously, you can do what you want. I can't stop you. I can't jump to the phone and stop you. But I like to encourage wild self-expression. Take inspiration and then do your thing, because that's where the magic happens in coloring. So do what you're going to do. But for me personally, I like to encourage you all to, sure, take a few snippets of inspiration from me. Fine, I get it. Everyone's inspired by everyone. But explore yourself, develop your own styles and techniques, and I promise the coloring experience will be much more rewarding for you. So anyway, in my previous color and chat, I played with a concept that I'm going to be not necessarily exploring today. I loved it, by the way. We will be doing it in the future. But where's that page? This one. And this color and chat is on the channel, so if you go on my channel and look for it, you'll find it. It was basically a technique inspired by old school printing methods, the printing methods that required multiple plates of multiple different colors. So when you look at old printing, comic books, newspapers, that sort of thing, you notice that the colors sometimes are not aligned perfectly and there are misalignments. Instead of things being perfectly aligned like this, sometimes they are just a little wonky, a little off kilter. And that's what I did with the coloring on that particular page. On this one, what I'm going to do, instead of shifting the color, which I may do in some areas, primarily what I'm going to focus on is coloring outside the lines on purpose. So for instance, you can see that I did that in the hair. We filled it in, but we bled the color out, but we bled it out with a bit of control. So if you look right here, see, I went completely outside of that line. And then we're just gonna fill it in. I think I'm gonna go ahead and color block on this one as I did the other one, because I do like that. Solid blocks of color. Think old school animation and cell shading, where it was just a lot of, you know, big blocks of the same color. And let's see here. Let's see, I don't even know my own artwork. I believe this is part of her hair still, so let's see. The color that I used on her hair, I think, is this one. Yeah. So I went completely out of the line here. And what I think I want to do is a mix of both techniques. So I want to do some bits where I'm going entirely out of the lines, been filling in the section completely, and then just watch. We are going to replicate the technique that I did on the other page where I was shifting the color blocks like this. See, that is going to be the new outline, and then this little bit right here on her outfit. And of course, are we shocked that my marker is dying? No, of course not, of course not, of course not. So we're going to shift it slightly. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Annoying, yes, but it's okay. This kind of nonsense happens on a regular basis here. We're used to it by now. So we'll do that, and then I'll keep in mind not to use this marker very much on this page. I'll put it in the marker graveyard afterward. So I do want to pull that color up a little bit. So right now that we still have a little juice left, I'll bring it up here, and then we'll leave it at that. Let's put it in her ring as well. Okay, I wanted to put it on her sleeves, but I'm not sure if that's going to be feasible. I could rejuice it with a little bit of alcohol, but to be honest, I'm not in the mood to overcomplicate things today. So let's leave it like that, and then we'll go, let's just go in with the darker blue, shall we? Let's see what happens. So this is, it's not blue, it is technically a mint green light, which is not true at all, but whatever you say. Whatever you say, oh hoo hoo. And what I'm going to do is once again do that shift technique where I'm following the outline of the object, in this instance the glove, and then I'm extending it. I know this technique is a little scary, especially for those who are not illustrators. You may think, oh, I don't have the confidence to just wing it the way that Karla does. Get a pencil. Outline what you are going to do first with a pencil, and then just follow your pencil lines. You don't have to completely freeform it if you're not comfortable doing it. I always encourage you doing things that make you uncomfortable, but sometimes you want a little bit of control. I get it. So try it. I like that. That's cute. And then we'll do the same thing on this sleeve. It's not as intimidating as it looks. Maybe it is a little bit, but even better, right? If it is intimidating, so what? You've got 20 plus pages to play with. And actually this is Lunisoleil, so you have a ton of pages in this book to play with. So there you go. Make a mess, start a new page later. And I really want to play with the bright yellow on this part right here. Or you know what? I have this gorgeous chartreuse green that was recommended to me by the way by one of you, Kirsten. I never know how to say that name, and I feel bad. It's not just because it's hers, but it's any Kirsten, because every single one pronounces it differently. God damn it! But she recommended this brand of marker, which of course now I've rubbed it all off. I believe it was Shinhan, something like that. It's a fluorescent green. It is a lovely acid green because you all know I've been searching for an acid green that is going to fill the void in my life. That I had an acid green a while ago that was kind of close to what I was looking for. It was the Prismacolor something or other. And it was good, but it was not quite what I was looking for. And this is definitely by far the closest to the acid green that I have in mind that I have ever found. And I found it because of a recommendation from one of you, Delicious Morsels. So thank you if you're watching this video. I will be purchasing more of these while the quest for my beloved acid green continues, but this is very close to what I want. So yay for that. And I think this is a good cutoff point. So I'm going to just continue filling in the color blocking, and it's going to be a mix of both techniques. It's going to be the full fill with outside the lines as well as the shift fill. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next chunk. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we say we were going to do something blue today? Something blue and aqua? Well, reality. It's about 114 today. When it's this hot, sparkling water, salty, citrusy beverages are my thing. So we went into a citrus mode today. So she's some kind of, I don't know, cosmic citrus goddess. I don't know. Is she holding a moon? Is she holding a star? A planet? A sun? Space citrus? I don't freaking know. And I'm not going to complain because I think she looks cute. So we're going in with that. But of course, you already knew this. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the thumbnail. You just happen to be watching the madness now in film. So, and now I wanted to put some, now I really want to see some orange in her face. So, orange eye? Sure. But I feel like she needs a bit more. It's kind of a weird color palette. I mean, on paper, in theory, citrus colors should go well together, right? But it looks a little discordant right now, and that is okay. That is okay. I'm itching to use this color. It's one of my favorites. It's the fluorescent red. I don't know what it is about fluorescent red. I don't dislike red. I'm just not a big red person. But fluorescent in markers and gel pens for some reason, I love it. Oh, the thoughts. Can you hear the cobwebs swinging in my head right now? They're swaying in the breeze. I need to add a little bit more of this darker color, which is what's hanging me up right now. This darker orange. But I'm dying, guys. I'm dying to use this one, so let's see. Oh God, I love this color. It's probably underwhelming on camera, but it's just such a luscious, bright, bold neon red. It's a creamy red, if that makes sense. A creamy, bright red. I love it. Shouldn't have done that, but we did it. Now we have to live with it. That's okay. See, folks, I'm not planning anything. I'm quite literally just winging it. Do I hate it? I don't hate it. I don't like it. But that can change. That can change. all of my work, my pages, my illustrations, they all go through an ugly phase. Sometimes they grow out of it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I like the ugly at the end, sometimes I don't. It's just part of the process. And in today's episode of Embracing the Ugly, because that is what we are doing today, reiterating why it's important to just try things, because I'm already at the point where I know I don't like the page, and so because of that, I'm just not committed to the outcome at all. And I decided, you know what? How can we make this even uglier? How can we ugly this up even more? And you know that my markers are dying, some of them, and then other markers are just not as juicy as others. So I thought, let's play that up a little bit. I have said in previous videos that you can use a dying marker to add texture. Basically, it's effortless texture because you are simply using the defect of the marker, which is of course the drying ink, to your benefit. And today, this marker is not necessarily dying, but it's a little on the dry-ish side. And so I thought, let's play up the texture. Let's create our own texture without fully depending on the marker. And how am I going to do that? And it's an exercise in playing with pressure. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but I just want to. So let's take right here, for instance, where you can get a better look at what I'm doing, because I am going to continue it off camera. But right here, what I'm doing is applying normal pressure, and then at the end, quick flick and less pressure on the paper. So see that? It's giving me kind of a brush stroke kind of a look. This is felt tip after all, so it's easier to achieve that, but you see? Messy on purpose. And that just adds a cool texture, and definitely we have to bring it up and do it up here as well, but I kind of like that. It's different, it's interesting. Let's see what we can do here. So we're making a messy page even messier, basically. Yeah. I may not necessarily like this page, but this is a technique that I have taught myself today that I can play with in the future. So let's keep going. Well, this became very unhinged very quickly. I'm holding you in my hand, by the way, just so that I can give you a better look at what's going on here. So I very much enjoyed the brush look, and I wanted to make this even messier by giving it more of a painterly kind of watercolory type of look. So now she's become this little tropical confection, and I love it. So because it's so out of control, there needs to be some areas, at least as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, that need to be a little bit more controlled. They need to be a little bit more anchored down. And so my solution for that is to add some blocks of solid black. It doesn't have to be black. It can be any color, just depending on your color palette, or frankly, whatever you want to do. But in my case, I'm going to do the black eyeliner, the black lipstick, and down here, where there's a big block of space here, I want to break this up with a solid block of black. So I'm going to be finishing all of this in black. And then when I reconvene with you, we are going to be adding details, because I think since we already threw everything at this one, why not play with glitter and gel pens? Yeah? So I'm going to go grab those in the next session, but for now, I just want to give you a quick look, because it's quite a dramatic jump from my last coloring session that I did on camera. So all I did was just layer color. Threw some pink in there. Didn't think I was going to go with the warm colors, but again, it's hot. And this is where my brain is, citrus, tropics. But I mean, when is my brain not on those things? This is almost essentially the color palette for my Coconutty brand. The lime green, the chartreusey color of green, orange, and hot pink. So there you go. So again, I'm going to be filling in some areas of black, and then next step will be detail work. So it is quite late at this point. It's after midnight. The cricket is outside doing its crickety business, if you can hear the resident cricket, and also the resident gremlin is down here having a post-midnight snack session. But it has cooled down nicely, so I want to work a little bit more on this page. I've done a lot since our last check-in, and what I'm going to be doing for the next portion of the page is I'm going to be adding detail work with gel pen. I'm definitely going to go in with a glitter gel pen, maybe a couple different colors, but I'm going to start with the Jelly Roll Moonlights, which I have not used in quite a while on a coloring page. I used to use them extensively. That tends to be the trend. I get stuck on something for a while. Excuse me, I have the burpees. She's still triple fisting drinks. Coffee, sparkling water, trash can full of lemon water. Still, I get bubbly, apparently. Burpee bubbles. That stuff. So anyhow, I get stuck on using supplies for a while, and then I kind of wean myself off of them, and then I explore other things, and then I come back to them when I feel like it. You know, it's just one of those fluctuations. And so I was in the mood to bring the Jelly Roll back out today. We've not seen it in a while, and since I'm quite busy making a hot mess today, I thought, well, let's throw more at this page. Why not? Why not? As you can see, I have filled in quite a lot, and that's the beauty of this book. If you are new to my coloring books, if Lunisoleil is your first experience with my coloring books, typically my books are smaller in format. They are smaller size, not only in dimensions, but they have fewer pages. So it's a smaller page count, smaller format, just a little bit more easy to digest. And I decided to go kind of nuts with this book. I went with nearly double the page count that I typically go with. There's significantly more pages in this one. And then I also said, you know what, if we're gonna go more pages, then we're gonna go bigger as well in format, because I changed the style of the line art a little bit. My artwork hasn't changed, my artwork style, but the way in which I digitize the artwork, the illustrations, has changed for this book. And I wanted to see what the reception was, to see what everyone thought of the book, and so far everyone seems to like this digitization of the line work a little bit better. I went into detail in the flip through for this video, so if you're interested in finding out what the hell I'm talking about, go watch the flip through for this coloring book. Otherwise, what I was going to say before I took my behind on a little side path is, because this page, or rather this book, is in such a large format, I have left quite a number of pages with a lot of wiggle room to add extra line work, extra details, or to just leave them minimal. So I have this one that I worked on today was one of the ones that had less detail in the background. It has, I mean, not much of a background at all. And let's see, let's find another one. I mean, I guess most of them do have a lot of room in the background to play around with if you so choose. Some more than others, but anyway, lots of room to play if you want to, but you don't have to. And I guess for the purposes, for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what I'm doing, and that is what you see here, just adding areas of highlight with the Moonlight pen. Jelly Roll Moonlight, as always. The art supplies that I use will be linked down below. Don't have to purchase them on Amazon if you're not an Amazon shopper. I just leave that for convenience. These pens are, you can find them anywhere. I mean, they are the quintessential Jelly Roll pen. They are omnipresent. Get them anywhere. Don't have to get them on Amazon if you don't like. But again, I just leave everything down there linked for your convenience. And also, I believe Amazon is still giving links a kickback. I know there was a little kerfuffle about that a while ago, but anyway, if that's still a thing, well then yes, I get a little bit of a kickback if you use the links. Speaking of, well, I spoke of it earlier, that one of my favorite colors is the neon red. Because we're playing with the jelly rolls, how about we play with my freaking favorite jelly roll, which is this one. Of course, the neon red. I don't know what it is with neon red, you guys. There's just something about the tonal quality of these pens that just, it gives me the happies. It looks pink more than anything, but it is definitely a red. Yeah, so I'm going to keep the highlights tonal. I'm not going to do any white highlights on this page. I think that is going to be way too high contrasty. We already have, you know, the strong white in the background, so I think we should just leave it there. And then we'll keep the highlights tonal. And what that means is an area of red is going to get a highlight in a red or a pink. If an area is green, it'll get a highlight in, of course, green or yellow, you know, tonal. Similar tones, similar colors. So that is what I'm going to do on the rest of the figure. And then I still don't know what I'm going to do with these black spots. I was thinking about maybe putting in some dot work, some line work. I don't know yet. We'll see. But just to give you an idea of what's going on here, that is what I'm going to do. And then when I check back in with you in the next portion, most, if not all of that highlighting should be done. Well, we just went on to create a hot mess and a half, didn't we? Do I hate this page? No. Do I like this page? No. But did I have fun making it? Of course I did. Of course I did. Now, let me hide my boo-boo. I got a little boo-boo because, oh, she was gardening. Yeah, she's playing with plants now. You'll hear about that in a future vlog. But anyhow, the page is complete. She's a whole lot of a lot. And I encourage you all to do the same. Just, I will say it again till I'm blue in the face. All of the things. Don't be afraid to make unholy messes like this in your coloring book, because truth be told, even though the page, you know, I don't like the page. I don't think it's a standout at all. I did experiment with a few different techniques, and the entire process was enjoyable. So some techniques I will be carrying on into future pages. Other ones are just going to be, you know, one and done. You don't have to like everything you make, you guys. I usually don't. Maybe my expectations are high, but it is what it is. It's all about the process. The entire purpose of coloring books is to give you an escape, to give you a playground, right? To play in. And that's what I'm using my books for. And I hope if you take anything out of my page today, out of this video, it's to just go grab a book, grab a pile of markers and pens, and just have at it. So with that, I am done. I'm going to be stopping the yapping. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to where you can purchase the book, PDF book if you prefer printable. The physical book is available on Amazon, and within the next few weeks, I will have the signed bundles available in the shop. So if you're interested, wait for that announcement. Otherwise, go get yourself a copy elsewhere. I will... No, that's it. That's it. That's all I have to say. So, thank you for watching. Be bad, be good. You know, I don't give a damn which. Just make sure you come back in one piece, and I will see you in the next one.